Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's just dive right in. Today, we're exploring the meticulous standards and the natural beauty that truly separate custom drapery from those mass-produced window treatments you see everywhere. So, whether you're a brand new design client or a professional getting ready to partner with a premium workroom, knowing exactly how your textiles are handled is absolutely crucial. We're going to unpack the professional fabrication standards that not only protect your investment but guarantee a flawless finish. To keep things moving, we've broken this down into 5 key areas: the custom fabrication standard, meticulous construction and details, unique features, not flaws, fabric reactions to the environment, and finally, protecting your custom investment. This roadmap is going to ensure you know exactly what to expect. All right, part 1, the custom fabrication standard. When you step into the world of luxury custom drapery, the foundation is literally everything. Let's establish that baseline to give you total peace of mind. What we're talking about here is an uncompromising set of standards for every single panel. Imagine heavy, luxurious 4-inch double hems at the bottom. That's what gives the drape its perfect weight. Then you've got 1.5-inch double side hems for these beautiful, clean edges. The thread, it's perfectly color-matched cotton. The seams, they're serged, so there's absolutely zero fraying happening. And if you've picked out a pattern fabric, it is meticulously matched from the top down, so your eye just flows naturally across the room. Even the delivery is next level. Everything is fan-folded, tucked safely into specialized plastic tubing, and shipped so it arrives totally pristine. Moving on to Section 2, meticulous construction and details. You know, in a world where everything seems to be run by automated commercial machines, true custom workrooms deliberately run the other way. Jel Balu, who has been in this industry for 30 years over at the Workroom Collective, really hits the nail on the head here. She says she's a purist and notes that their pleats are not machine-turned. They are still hand-turned. And that matters. When fabric is just fed through a commercial conveyor belt that folds and stitches all at once, you get this stiff corporate look. Hand-turning the pleats gives them this elegant, bespoke look that automated machines literally just can't pull off. It's really a step-by-step journey of craftsmanship. First off, before a pair of scissors even comes close to your material, every single roll is inspected for flaws. If there's a problem, everything stops until it's fixed. Next up is the custom lining, usually a beautiful 100% cotton, which is hand-hemmed to hang exactly 1 inch shorter than the front fabric. That way, it never peeks out, but still gives all the structure you need. And then, as we just mentioned, those pleats are manually formed by hand for that artisanal finish. Okay, Section 3, unique features, not flaws. So we've talked about the craft, but now we really need to talk about the character of the fabrics themselves. Have you ever looked at a high-end natural fabric and worried about a heavy thread, a slub, or maybe a little bit of puckering? Well, we need to completely reframe that. What some people might initially see as a defect, like a dye lot variation or a wrinkle, is actually an inherent quality of the material. Think of them as the unique, natural fingerprints of a hand-woven textile. It gives the room a relaxed, casual authenticity. These aren't flaws. They're honestly the whole reason you're investing in natural luxury, instead of something synthetic and mass-produced. And to build on that, it's really helpful to understand a term like bow and bias. Basically, this is a completely natural distortion in the weave of a fabric. The industry standard tolerance for this in custom textiles is actually 1.5 to 2 inches. So what does that actually mean for you? It means that even with the absolute best fabrication in the world, perfectly straight line matching at the seams of a heavily printed fabric might occasionally vary just a tiny bit. It's just part of the charm of working with real woven materials.
You might also hear the term flaring. This is when the bottom edges of a drape sort of kick out from the wall. Again, completely natural behavior. It's especially common if you're using strong synthetic fibers. I want to stress this. It is definitely not a mistake and not a reason to send the fabric back. Workrooms can use little tricks like seam slitting to help mitigate it, but it's good to know going in that sometimes your fabric just has a mind of its own.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 4, fabric reactions to environment. We know the fabric has character, so let's look at the science of how these textiles react once they're actually hanging in your home. The biggest takeaway here? Fabrics are dynamic. They are living things that literally breathe. A perfectly static drape that never ever changes shape? Yeah, that's a total myth. Because they're constantly absorbing moisture from the air, they're going to naturally move, relax, and contract over time. In fact, a 2 to 3% change in the length of your drapery is completely normal. As your home's temperature and humidity shift from, say, the dry heat of winter to a humid summer, the fabric is going to stretch or shrink slightly. That's exactly why professionals leave extra fabric tucked into those deep hems we talked about earlier. The material is right there if an adjustment is ever needed down the line. Different materials have totally different sensitivities. Take silks. They are notoriously sensitive to both direct and indirect sunlight. Too much sun and you're looking at fading, stretching, and even the fibers disintegrating. Synthetics like polyester really don't like heat or steam. They'll shrink, pucker, or flare out. And your linens and cottons, they will naturally shrink and wrinkle when exposed to heat and moisture. So, putting a synthetic blend directly over a hot air vent or hanging unlined silk in a sunny south-facing window is going to dramatically shorten their lifespan. Now get this, sunlight isn't even the only thing that causes fading. There's a fascinating thing called gas fading. It's caused by oxidation and impurities in the air itself. Believe it or not, your fabrics can actually fade while tucked away in long-term storage if they aren't aired out properly. Sometimes the air quality in a room can fade a fabric just as much as direct sunlight. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, protecting your custom investment. You are investing in high-quality craftsmanship, so let's make sure we mitigate those environmental factors and keep everything looking stunning.
So here is your quick checklist. Number 1, always use a high-quality 100% cotton lining as a protective barrier. 2, manage your sunlight by drawing shades during peak hours. And here is a wild fact. The harsh winter sun reflecting off a blanket of white snow is actually one of the most damaging light environments for fabrics. Who knew, right? Also, keep your drapes away from baseboard heaters and vents. And if you ever need a touch-up, use a cool iron only, especially on those heat-sensitive synthetics and linens.
By understanding these professional standards, like those hefty 4-inch hems and the hand-turned pleats, and by really embracing the natural, living behavior of these materials, you are setting yourself up for an amazing result. It totally changes how you view window treatments. They aren't just decoration. They're crafted investments. When you understand the care and character woven into every stitch, you stop chasing impossible perfection, and you start loving the authenticity. So how will this completely change the way you view the textiles in your own space?